What's cracking YouTube? Primal here, and today we're here with the next podcast episode. I didn't come up with a name for the podcast, but we're here to discuss groups, discuss what EWC is going to be like, who I'm going to predict to get out of groups, and who I feel is going to move on, who I feel is going to do best, and what grand finals might look like. And guys, if you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification button, drop a like if you haven't already, and a comment. I greatly appreciate it. It helps me and the algorithm out. So let's crack on into groups. So starting off, we have Optic, aka Optic Texas, sorry. G2 Esports, aka Minnesota Rocker, Cloud9, aka Cloud9 New York, in the Challengers Team 5 Fierce. In Group B, we have Vancouver Surge representing Vancouver Surge, 100 Thieves representing LA Thieves, Gentlemates representing LA Gorilla Mates, and finally, the challengers team for Group B, Team Orchid. Now, for Group C, we have Boston Breach, movie star KOI, aka Toronto Ultra, and Team Falcons, aka Vegas Falcons, and the challengers team, Team War. And for our final group, we have Team Heretics, aka Miami Heretics. We have FaZe Clan, aka my boys Atlanta FaZe. Omit, which they could only send one roster, unfortunately. And I'll discuss that roster in a second. And Project 7, who did take the place of Carolina Royal Ravens because Carolina, they made too many roster changes and got disqualified because of that. Now, Omit, they could only send one org, so they sent they sent the team who won COD Challengers Champs, which would be Vivid, Mac, and the two Challengers players whose names I'm forgetting right now, which will come back to me later. So, going through groups who I feel are going to come out on top. Easily Optic, and now for the second one, I'm going to say Cloud9 over G2. Can Kenny probably have pop off potential? Yes. Could it be an upset? Most definitely. It's like either Cloud9 or G2 get out. One of those two will get out. Now for Group B, I've got Vancouver Surge and 100 Thieves breaking out Group B stage. The upset could be Team Orchid somehow gain out of group stage, depending on how matches and how everything shapes up and stuff. But honestly got 100 Thieves and Vancouver Surge breaking out groups. Now for Group C, I've got Boston Breach and Koi, aka Toronto Ultra, breaking out. And Breach, mind you, they got top 3 at champs, so the highest placing, and they're probably going to be going at it hard just to try and see if they can win. Try and see if they can win with their roster. Potential upset, I'm going to have Team War. If Boston Breach come out flat, I'm going to take Team War over Breach. Well, Falcons did drop Priesta for TJ Haley, so I would honestly, Group C is interesting because Falcons made change of dropping Priesta for TJ, and it's like, okay, interesting. Also, KOI did drop beans for Abe, a Challengers player. So, and beans did go up to Team Orchid. So, yeah, this is going to be interesting. Now for Group D, I've got Heretics and FaZe breaking out of it. Heretics, I could see getting an easy 2-0 start out, and FaZe, depending on what matches they play, I could see it being either 2-0 or 2-1, depending on who they play. But honestly, I've got faith in the boys going 2-0 for FaZe. Omen, they could also put up a bit of a fight, especially if they go up against Heretics or somehow get an upset and are able to advance out bracket and somehow beat either Heretics or FaZe. In Project 7, I've not really seen much of them, so I'm just going to count them out because I don't know who their roster is really. So, yeah. Now, if it's a head-to-head for groups, well, after groups, if it's a head-to-head of the two who get out, I'm going to take Optic in Group A. I'm going to take Thieves in Group B. I'm going to take Ultra in Group C. And my heart wants to go with FaZe in Group D because I feel like FaZe, they want revenge over Heretics if it does come that way. But we gotta see. Also, Scrap did mention something about how EWC is going to be more important this year for Thieves, probably because of how poorly they placed at Champs. Like, they got majorly upset. So, yeah. Now, if it goes Group D versus Group A, or like Group D versus Group B and Group A versus Group C, I'm going to say if it's Group A versus C, I've got Optic. If it's FaZe versus Thieves, I've got FaZe. But FaZe is going to really seriously need to lock in if they want to beat Thieves. And if it's a Optic versus FaZe, I'm going to call Game 7. Game 7, Round 11. That's what I'm going to call. Now, if it's Group A versus Group D, I'm going to have to go with Optic. And if it's Group B versus Group C, I'm going to go with Thieves. And we'll have a Optic versus Thieves grand final, and I feel like it'll be for Game 6 in favor of Optic. But either which way, I see Optic and FaZe getting to grand finals, but we will just have to wait and see. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to get out of groups? Who do you think is going to win? Which upsets do you see coming? Do you have any dark horses potentially making a bit of a run? So, yeah. All right, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day, great night, wherever you are in the world. But above all else, keep it cool.